Hello and welcome to my channel. I want to talk about life in the UK because in the UK, life can be so expensive. And if you don't take care at the end of the month, you will have nothing to save because the goal is to save and to have investment back in Africa, in the motherland. So one of the things that take a lot of money is the taxes. So here in the UK, there's so much taxes. There's the council tax, there's the income tax, there's the national insurance. If you're driving, there's a road tax, there's MOT, and also there's VAT, value added tax. So there's so much tax that that we pay, just to live in the UK. So even before you get paid, the tax is taken and it's a lot of money. So the more hours you work, the more tax you pay. So you can say, I'm going to do extra shift, I'm going to take another job. And also there's something called an emergency tax. I think that's when you hold more than 2 jobs or something. Let me know in the comment section what it means. It's like if you have 2 jobs, you get this tax, emergency tax. And also there's another tax called inheritance tax. So let's say you have a house, you paid for that house for 35 years, let's say a mortgage, 25 or 30 years. And then when you sell or when you give that house to, let's say, your son, your daughter, or someone inherit that house from you, then the government there will be an inheritance tax on that house. It could be, I think it's 40%. Let me know how much it is, but there's an inheritance tax that you have to pay. So it can be very, very stressful, being that, for example, as aspirants, if you want to be able to save some money and invest it back in the motherland. Because I don't believe in a situation where we want to work all our lives, like wanting to work until we are 6. In the UK at the moment, the retirement age is 6. I think it's coming to 68. So I don't think that's a good idea of life, like having to work all your life just so then you retire at the age of 67 and then maybe enjoy your pension while your early active years is gone. That's not my idea of life. I feel like there should be a balance. And when I say retiring at a younger age, I don't mean that now you don't do anything when you retire. So it means that you just do whatever you love to do. You don't have to deal with any bosses. You don't have to deal with anyone. You just do your thing. And I believe in Africa, we have the opportunity to invest and ensure that our investment grows, because there's so many opportunities that are still to be tapped into or to be grabbed, and so then we can be independent, along the way develop our continent. So, well, every country has their own tax, but for me, I feel there's so much tax. Everything is taxed, everything. Even before you save, everything's been taxed. And also we have to think the bills are there. Well, so the title of this message, the real cost of life in the UK. So the bills, you have like your electric bill, your gas bill, you have your rent. The rent actually takes maybe more than half of your income, depending on where you live. Maybe if you live in central London, even more expensive. If you're living in London, if you live in areas just around London alone, it can be very expensive. So nowadays people opt to move out of London, and because I feel the farther you are from London, the cheaper the rent can be, and the closer you are to London, the higher the rent can be. So as an African immigrant, and you just have to find ways to be able to save money, because you want to save, and not just to leave it in the bank, but you want to invest this money. You want to find safe investment opportunities in the motherland, in Africa, investments that will bring return and will liberate you from a 9-to-5 job, like being in the UK. Look at the weather, everything. You just want to go and enjoy. I want to say that being in the UK is bad, but it's good. It is good. We can use the opportunity we have to raise capital, because maybe the exchange rate can be very like an advantage to be able to take the opportunity and have enough capital to be able to do business. So not to forget, the rent can be very expensive, and I think it's just wise to be able to find ways to tackle that issue. If you can maybe co-share a house, find places where the landlord maybe is allowing like maybe 10, not 10 people. Let's say a 5-bedroom house, and the landlord is letting 5 people to rent that house. Maybe you don't have children, you're still alone, then that way you save money, and you're able to save and go back and invest it in the motherland. So the reason why I focus on the motherland is because to set up a business in the UK, to be honest, can be very expensive. Like in the capital alone, it can be very expensive, and having to take a loan is going to be very expensive for me. And also just to be able to go back to the motherland and to be able to go back to the motherland and ensure that your life is not wasted in the diaspora, because you're gonna be like at the end of time, your working time, or at the end of the day, you want to look back and say, oh, I'm happy I took that decision to invest in the motherland, because so many people's lives will be changed. You're not just changing your own life, you're changing people's lives by employing them, in your business, whichever area you will be focusing on. So it brings me to the next question, which is, how can you even save then? Because being that there's so much outgoings, even before the money reaches your bank account, there's already money going out, even before you see the money. So I think one of the things is to just cut down on the expenses. If there are things that you are spending on that you think that is a luxury and it cannot help you to develop your business back in the motherland in Africa, then you can cut it down. If let's say you're someone that maybe you have a phone which is £1,000, an iPhone 16, for example, and that phone you're paying for it, let's say £70 a month. I don't think, for me, it's not a good financial decision. So these are the kind of things maybe we can cut down on, and to just ensure that we're able to accomplish our mission. Because when we came to the diaspora, we came that we are going to change our lives back in Africa. So for me is to just encourage you, and to also encourage myself to cut on expenses, things like eating. If you frequently eat out, it can be very expensive. Maybe just reduce on eating out and cook more. It's even healthier. You see, one thing you could do is maybe find a side hustle that will be helping you with your maybe some expenses, and also saving money. Making a monthly budget and making a monthly budget can also help you to just watch your expenses, and that's also something that you can do. And finally, with this money that you're saving, it's just good to find a safe investing opportunity back in Africa. And because it can be sometimes if you don't find a safe investment, people can take advantage of you, and the hard earned money can just evaporate, and you become very stressed, and it can make you even to wonder whether going back to Africa is worth it. So we need to do our research, make sure that whatever we are doing, we understand the business, and we have investigated, and even the people that we are working with. It's best just to go and do, let's say you're building apartments back in Africa, go do it and come back, than giving someone money. Unless you really trust that person, then maybe you can be sending them the money. But I don't think that's a good idea, for me anyway. So I wish you all the best in all your endeavors, and your business will take off. And I believe that God is with us. God bless, and thank you.